Okay, today's story is from Purim, 1963. Where is it? Just lost the page. You know what? Ashgacha Pratis. I just opened the Purim 1962. Tafshin Chav Beis, 1962, which is, of course, the Fabrengen we're learning. This is the end of the Fabrengen. Now, friends, this is 1962. In 1962, and they was talking, this is a Fabrengen, and they was talking to Chassidim. Talking to Yidden Bechlal, they're talking to Chassidim. And the Rebbe had embarked already earlier on this great effort to change the whole mindset of Frumme Yidden. This is the mindset of the Frumme Yidden in America in the years following the war. And that is, I'm talking about Chassidim, you have to have a secular education. First of all, it's government mandated, but that's not the point. The point is that panos, got to make a panos. And they embarked on a mighty battle that children, certainly the earlier years, should be exclusively Torah. Now, I just want you to appreciate the paradox here, because all truth comes in paradox. There was no Rebbe, period, that on the one hand, not afraid of the world. On the contrary, we have to go out there and engage the world. The Rebbe himself, as a graduate of Sorbonne, had a secular education, and urges the Chassidim to go out in the world, etc., etc. On the other hand, so if that's all you knew, so Lubavitch is modern, engage, and get degrees, what have you. On the other hand, the other extreme is that championed a lone voice, a exclusively Torah education, particularly till the age of 9 or 10, whatever it is, and even better, throughout one's years and throughout one's formative years, and then later, these two extremes. Without going to how that's possible, we don't have to ask a question. We see here's the result. Results on the ground 40, 50 years later. So here the Rebbe is saying, I'll just read to you. That was very pained that Meili says that you have to have a secular education. Okay, you have to. But as in the story in the end of the Megillah was, what was the whole chet? That the people enjoyed the Suda of Purim. The fact that they had to, the Suda of Achashverosh, the fact that they had to go, you could argue they had to go, the King's Son, you got to show up. But you revel in it? No, that's the Gemara says. The Gemara says, because they benefited from the Suda, Shenanimous, Sudasa, Shalei Serasha, that's why in heaven there was, Haman's decree was, you'll be reminded that you're different. So here the Rebbe is saying, you're having benefit from a Suda of Shakespeare. So he goes on to say here, like, I want to read the whole thing, how he says, what do we see? This is an Orthodox Torah day school. So the kid, when he excels in secular studies, so he gets a whole prize, and it's a whole public thing, and it's a whole hoo-ha. But he learned the Masechta Baal Peh, or he learned certain pages of Gemara, it goes under the radar. At least there was crying and begging. Make the same excitement about accomplishment in Limud Kodesh. This is 1962, friends. It changed. Thank God it changed. Hopefully, it did. I'll just read the last piece. The whole of the yeshiva, the Rosh Yeshivas, and of course the Balabatim and all of the reporters. So they make a whole with chatzotres for Trua, with trumpets and the thing. Everybody should know that they took it, in Rebbe's words, they took a bocha that could sit and learn all day Torah, and they put him into the Suda of that Rasha, whether it's Shakespeare or somebody else, and he was successful, and so much so that the Gentile world recognized him and gave him an award. That's the tachlis. So at least why don't you publicize in the newspaper with the same student that this boy learned so many pages of Gemara by heart? This is, you're getting a glimpse, a snapshot, put in 1962, how the Rebbe is slowly but surely changing the mindset. Now, what I said earlier, it's a contradiction. It's the Babich savvy, modern, not the, you're back to the shtetl, what is it? Isolated, insulated. It's not a contradiction. It's on the contrary. What the Rebbe is saying? The world itself has no identity. It's just per se, no value. It's waiting to be channeled and transformed and used in Kedusha. To do that, there has to be, at the formative years, the Einoid Mulvadoi. And if you have the Einoid Mulvadoi, the foundation, now go out in the world and transform it. And don't be afraid of it. Okay, friends. Have a wonderful day. Continue Be'ez Hashem tomorrow.
Thank you.